In today's video we're taking a look at the Netgear ReadyNAS RN526X with up to 60 terabytes of storage capacity, automatic backup and sync, antivirus protection and so much more. In today's video we're taking a look at the Netgear ReadyNAS RN526X. This is a network attached storage device, or NAS for short. Let's start with a very simple description of a NAS. It's a product that you can install either a single or multiple hard drives or solid state drives into, and then instead of connecting this to a single computer, it's connected to your network via an Ethernet cable. And then all of the files that you store on your NAS are accessible by multiple users on multiple platforms and all sorts of different devices. These can be laptop computers, desktops, smartphones or tablets, for example. So let's take a physical look around this particular system. The front of the unit sports this really nice silver coloured door, and we swing this open to reveal the 6 3.5-inch hard drive bays. These are very easily accessible, very easy to remove, and you can install the hard drives without any tools. No screws or screwdriver required. Whilst we've got this door open, you can also see at the bottom we've got a single USB 3 port and also a power on off button. If we close the door, you can see at the top of the door we've got this really nice display, and this gives us some feedback regarding system status. And just underneath the display we've got 4 long buttons and 1 central OK button for controlling the menu system. If we take a look around the back, we've got an eSATA hard drive expansion port, 2 further USB 3 ports, a Kensington lock for tethering this to a desk for extra security, the input for the power supply and the main power on off switch. It's also worth mentioning at this stage that there is an Intel D1508 dual core 2.2 GHz processor, 4 GB of DDR4 RAM and also an internal fan. This fan is audible, but once the system is powered on and settled down into its normal operation mode, it's not very loud at all. We'll be taking a look at the user interface, how we set things up and how we use the ReadyNAS in a short while. But I wanted to just cover off some of the other really great features. This product supports RAID levels 0, 1, 5, 6 and 10, which gives us varying degrees of data redundancy and performance. Now there are up to 6 3.5-inch hard drive bays on offer here, and if we installed a 10 terabyte drive in each, that gives us up to 60 terabytes of storage capacity. The 2 Ethernet ports on the back of the unit support 10 Gigabit Ethernet, so really good performance. And we've also got some really great key features on offer too, and these include automatic backup and sync, unlimited snapshots, X-RAID and instant provisioning. Now X-RAID refers to the fact that we can install maybe 2 disks to start the system off, and then we can add additional hard drives at a later date to expand our storage capacity. We've also got antivirus and encryption on offer and a whole lot more besides. Now I mentioned earlier how easy it is to install the hard drives, and it really is a simple matter of taking out the caddy, pulling the plastic sled away from the caddy, popping the hard drive in with no additional tools required, and then reinserting the hard drives. Once we've done this, we can connect this to our network via an Ethernet cable, plug in the power cable, turn the main power switch on the rear of the unit, and then push the power button on the front and we're good to go. Okay, so once the hard drives are physically installed inside the ReadyNAS, it's time to set things up. And you do this via the user interface, which is presented to you within your web browser. We point our browser to readycloud.netgear.com, and then we're presented with a welcome page. We've got the choice of setting up a new ReadyNAS on the left or setting up a connected storage on your router. Well, we're setting up a new ReadyNAS, so let's click Start. And then we can go to discover all of the ReadyNAS devices on our network. It's successfully located the ReadyNAS 526X, so we're going to click Setup. And we've got 2 choices. We've got either a ReadyCloud setup or an offline installation. We're going to go with the default option at the top, and here we have to enter in some information to create a My Netgear account. We've now completed the email registration, so it's time to click Next. and here we are given the option to choose a name for our ReadyNAS. We'll keep it as the default and just add Geek onto the end. Select the time zone. And now we're given details of the 3 methods we can use to access our ReadyNAS content. We've got a web portal, also mobile app, or ReadyCloud on the PC or macOS 10 app. On first login, we're presented with a very clean user interface. One of my very first network attached storage devices, and this was going back many years, was a Netgear ReadyNAS. And from what I remember, it did not look this crisp and clean. So big improvement here on the user interface. We've got some shares that look like they've already been set up. These are for documents, home, music, pictures and videos. We've also got various controls here for adding folders, and we can also go into our Manage tab just here. Inside Manage we get some details about the ReadyNAS device, the fact that the status is healthy, antivirus is currently disabled, also our storage capacity and any shared folders and shared links we've created. We can also click on Discover, and this looks for new devices on the network. We'll also note this tab at the top, which is saying there is in fact a new firmware version available, and we can either dismiss this notification or apply the firmware update now. What we've seen so far is the very simple and clean front end user interface. If we want to configure our Netgear ReadyNAS RN526X even further, we can go into the Manage tab and then to the admin page, which opens up in a new tab in our browser. If this was my first session as admin, it would ask for my username and password, but it's automatically logged me in, and I'm currently in the System tab. We can see some more information about the device itself, and any applications that are running would be in this lower section of the screen. Here we can also check for updates and apply firmware updates. We've also got a volume screen, and here we can see the drives that are physically installed inside the ReadyNAS. So I've got a 1.5 terabyte drive that's been configured, and a second drive that I've added, which I've yet to format and add to my X-RAID configuration. We've also got a performance tab. This gives us so much information about the system fan, CPU and system temperature, and also our volume, network and utilization performance. Next option along is for settings, and here we can set up various file sharing services, turn on that antivirus for example. We can also check for updates here as well. We've also got some configuration for backups, alerts and support. We've also got some logs, and this just details what's been happening with the system, and also some power options where we can also configure a schedule to automatically power on and power off the ReadyNAS at predetermined times. If we go across to the Shares tab, here we can see the various shares that we've got set up and also who's got access to them. Next tab along is the iSCSI tab. Then we've got an Accounts tab for setting up new users. Here we can also manage groups, cloud users, authentication and also the default user. In the Network tab it gives us some feedback regarding our connections. The next tab along is very interesting indeed. This is regarding applications, and the apps that are available that you can install directly onto your ReadyNAS really add to the feature set and the power of this system. If I just scroll through, you can see we've got BitTorrent servers, we've got Drupal, Kernel Plus, Logitech Media Server, we've also got NetData NT, PHP, and one that I'll personally be using, which is Transmission for ReadyNAS. I already used the desktop application of this, so I'll definitely be installing this onto my ReadyNAS unit. Next tab along are some cloud options. We've currently got ReadyCloud switched on, and these other options allow us to actually back up our files to other services. So we've got Dropbox, Google Drive, ReadyNAS Vault, ReadyNAS Replicate, sync with Amazon Cloud Drive, Amazon S3 and Ignite storage. The next tab along is simply backup, and here we can queue up and set up backup jobs which are easily accessible via the front panel on the ReadyNAS unit itself. Over on the right hand side here, we've got some other options for the ReadyNAS community, our password, and also some language options. Top right, we've also got the option to either restart or completely shut down our ReadyNAS. So as you can see, the ReadyNAS user interface really does allow us to configure things exactly as we want them. The power of adding those apps onto the device itself means that we can run things directly on the NAS. That really adds to the flexibility of this system. For example, you could set a backup going, or indeed something downloading via BitTorrent, shut your computer system down, and the tasks will complete on the NAS device itself. During my tests, it's run very quietly. The performance has been absolutely fantastic, and I feel like I've got a very stable and rock solid backup solution for archiving my video files. So if you're looking for a really powerful network attached storage device that's very flexible and gives you plenty of capacity, then the Netgear ReadyNAS RN526X is well worth considering. I'll leave links to where you can pick up this for yourself in the video description, and of course to the Netgear website. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in another video very soon.